we got to put them on you. Sorry. Let me go get that, Dr. I'll be right back with you, okay? No. Okay. I'll give you the rest of it if you want it. All right. I know we've covered this, but I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to read you your rights again, and I know you've heard these several times, okay? Number one, you have the right to remain silent, not make any statement at all, and that any statement you make may be used against you at your trial. Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to enduring any questioning. If you're unable to employ a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you prior to enduring any questioning. You have the right to terminate the interview at any time, and you understand the rights listed above in numbers 1 through 5. If you'll take a look at those for me, I know you've initialed those in the past. If you'll just initial them for today's date. Again, that's just saying that you understand what your rights are. On the back side, if you'll sign right there, it's just saying you acknowledge I've advised you what your rights are. Today's date, yeah, I'll fill it in for you. It's harder to write like that, I'm sure. Today is the 30th of December, 2010, and I have 5:03 p.m. Hardin County Sheriff's Office. Clint, I know you sat here and visited with me once before, and I know that you go by Clint or Brian? Clint. Okay. I know that you've talked with me, and I know you've made a statement about this once before. I know that you talked with Ranger Parks and Lieutenant Spears on another day, and I know that you gave some statements in both of those interviews that didn't match up. Okay, and the information was a little bit different. We've also since then collected some evidence and gotten an autopsy report, some preliminary information from the coroner, from the doctor who did the autopsy. And I know when me and you drove over here just a while ago, there's a lot weighing on your conscience, okay, and I understand that. And I know that you cared about Nicole a lot, and I know that a lot of this has been eaten on you. But as I told you, a lot of the information that you've provided doesn't add up to what the evidence shows. The evidence shows that she didn't jump out of a window. So, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this ball in your court, because I know you want for this, all these questions. I know you don't want the Texas Ranger to keep coming over here asking you questions about it and for him to keep looking at it the way he's looking at it. Tell me what happened out there exactly.
I'm coming off of Sugar Maple after the stop sign. She said she was gonna jump out of my vehicle, and I said, Nicole, I'm not gonna leave you out here. And I was in the middle of the north. 12 o'clock. When I turned off Sugar Maple off of 10:03, I got went 10 miles per hour, and my light came on in my truck. She was about to jump out. I reached and I tried to hold her in, and when I did, it was a car coming, and by the time I tried to get my control of my vehicle, she went out the door.
Clint, that's not what you told us the first time.
And I I was scared. I mean, I don't know. I thought I was going to get in trouble about all of this.
So you're telling me that when you got to the stop sign, she opened the door? Or as you turned onto 1003, she
Yeah,
opened the door?
I turned on 1003 to pop up 5 feet from that stop sign. She opened my door.
Driver's side door or the passenger door?
Past that door.
Okay.
Reaching to try to grab her with one arm, trying to hold her in. And now when I was kind of swerving, going back into the other lane.
Okay.
And I let go, and to get control of my vehicle and trying to stop, I lost all at the same time.
Did the other vehicle stop at all?
No, sir. It was
Did she tell you she wanted out of the vehicle at the stop sign?
She said she wanted out, but, just like I told her, I said, Nicole, I said, you're not going to get out here. I mean, it's my responsibility to get you somewhere safe. I mean,
Well, Clint, if she wants out of the vehicle, you can't force her to stay there. You can't keep her. Is there any reason why you just pull over and let her out and maybe call someone to come get her? If she didn't want to be with you, she was mad?
She has done it before to me. She has said she's going to go out she opens my door like all the time. All the time. She opens my door. She gets mad at me because of, I'm still with my wife. She always gets mad at me, and she always tells me she's gonna open my door and go out. And just like I said, I didn't.
Well, Clint, that doesn't make a lot of sense that she would open the door while you're going down the road and want to get out of the vehicle, because that's really self-destructive behavior. Okay?
If you know Nicole, nobody don't know her. She had a lot on her mind.
Well, Clint, one of the things you told me the night that this all happened, that morning when I talked with you, was that she had been drinking and that you had bought her alcohol. She hadn't been drinking, had she?
Yes, sir, she has.
We did a toxicology on her. She was as sober as I am, and I hadn't had nothing to drink in a long time. She had no alcohol. She had no drugs in her system.
She was drinking out there.
The hospital, the first thing they did when she got to the hospital is they took tubes of her blood. That blood is for samples to have of her. When she passed away, those tubes were sent straight to the coroner's office. He did a toxicology screen on that blood. When that blood came back with no alcohol whatsoever, he then took tissue samples from her that he collected during the autopsy and sent those off. She came back clear of any drugs, of any alcohol, nothing. That means she hadn't been drinking. She hadn't been using any illegal drugs, which means she
like I said, she was going to get us beers. I wasn't really paying attention to her out there.
That means she's as clear-headed as she ever was. It'd be one thing if she was drunk and intoxicated. That might help understand why someone would make an irrational decision to jump out of a vehicle. Okay? But she hadn't been drinking anything. She hadn't been using any drugs.
It's like I said, I wasn't paying attention out there when she was, I don't know if she was drinking because she was going to get me beer. I know she was I
She hadn't had nothing.
I really wasn't paying attention out there to her.
And in all fairness, that's actually it helps you out a little bit that she's sober as can be. Because guess what? The furnishing alcohol to a minor, I'm making sure that case is dismissed against you. Because she had not been drinking. Now, I assume, and this is again my assumption here, and you help me out, my thoughts on this was that since you was going to say that this was all her jumping out of the vehicle, that maybe you thought that would be more believable if she had been drinking, and that maybe she would have been drunk, and that might explain why she jumped out of the vehicle. But if she hasn't been drinking, she obviously wasn't drunk because she wasn't. So is that part of why you told me that, or?
Just like I said, when we was out there, when we was eating, I remember you know, I've been drinking since, I want to say 4 o'clock that day.
Okay.
So, I mean, I really wasn't paying attention. We ate deer. I mean, I know she was drinking the Big Blue, and then after that, after she ate some deer, I really wasn't paying attention to her. You know, I know she was going to get me beers, and I guess when she was going to get me some beers, I was assuming that she was drinking with me.
Okay. Well, let's go back to when you're pulling out. She's telling you she wants out of the vehicle, that she doesn't want to be there, that she wants to walk?
No, she didn't say. She just...
Well, let me ask you this. Why did she get back in the vehicle with you? If you pulled up on the dirt road and she doesn't want to be with you and doesn't want to get in the vehicle, why did she get in the vehicle then? Did you pull her into the vehicle then?
No.
Because that would make a lot of sense and help me understand what she's doing in there and why she wants out.
It's just like I said, I don't know why she didn't get out when I stopped at the stop sign or stopped at the yellow gate.
Well, again, since you picked her up walking down the road, did you make her get in the vehicle then? Because that would actually help us explain this.
Just like I said, she volunteered to get my vehicle. She called me and told me to come pick her up. And then when I got to the stop sign...
Wait a second. You're saying she called you on the phone? Because I have her phone and I've looked at the call history of when she made calls and when she didn't.
She called me while I was at the deer camp. She called me when she started walking. She called me and told me to come pick her up. I went and picked her up. She got in my vehicle and we...
Tell me this. She also sent you a text message.
I don't know, I guess. I mean...
I don't have the text in front of me, but it's on the phone, which I have in our evidence room, okay? The text message said something to the effect of, you're a real big man now, or that makes you feel like a big man now, something to that effect. Don't quote me on the exact words, because I'm pulling that off of memory. You remember her sending you that text? It was that night within just a few minutes of when she dies.
Yes, sir. And I was just like I said, I was looking at this girl. You know, just what any other guy would catch, you know, and that's what she got mad at me about.
So you was looking at another girl?
Yes, sir, and I told her, you know, I was like, I just told her that me and her could not be together, you know, because if she's going to act like this. I told her that I just got onto this deer lease, and I said, you're big and causing a big scene. I said, I'm going to take you home. And Tony told us that if it's over with, you know, we're shutting down right here, everybody needs to go home.
Okay.
So I told her that I was taking her home. And she told me that she did not want to go home. She's not going home.
Alright. But y'all weren't going home, you were going to your deer camp.
Just like I said, she wanted to go, we were going to her deer camp to talk. I was going to talk to her. And then,
But she didn't want to go to the deer camp?
she wanted to go to the deer camp. That's what I'm saying. She didn't want to go home. I told her I was going to take her home because I can't, you know, Tony said that...
But you weren't going in the direction home, you were going in the direction of deer camp.
The deer camp.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I was going that way, and I was going to stop at my camper, lock up my camper, get my four-wheeler key.
Okay, so you were going to go to your deer camp first, and then y'all were going to leave and you were going to take her home?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, that's not where you were going.
Yeah,
But
because I left my gate open,
okay,
my deer camp open, my deer gate open. So, and it says on our deer camp, keep gate locked at all times. And I knew that I wouldn't want to be there till 2 o'clock. You know, I really wouldn't want to go home. I wouldn't want to go back to the deer camp. I was going to go to my mom's instead. And I was going to go and stop by my deer camp, block everything up. I had my generator out, I had my four-wheeler out, I had my camper unlocked, I had all my guns in there, I had my pistol in there, you know.
Let me ask you this. If she doesn't want to go with you, but she gets in the vehicle with you, I'm trying to get to the point where it makes sense that she would want to jump out of the vehicle, because if she didn't want to be in the vehicle, why would she get in the vehicle to begin with you? It would almost make more sense that you grab her and let's get in the vehicle, made her get in the vehicle, and then was going to take her back to your deer camp, and she got mad about you doing that. that almost makes more sense, but it's kind of hard for me to understand why someone would get in the vehicle voluntarily only to jump out in a situation that gets them hurt, and in this case, seriously hurt, where she dies.
Yes, sir. I understand that. And just like I said, honestly, I figured she told me to pick her up. That's a long, dark road.
Right, it is.
It's a dark, scary road. I mean, if you're a female walking down the road, I mean...
Okay, so you think when you got up there to the highway where she sees some houses and some lights, she decided then she wants that where she can go get someone else to help her?
Help her with what? I mean...
Help her get away or help her leave and go where she wants to go?
I mean, I guess now, it's logicity that, you know...
Huh?
It's all for the sense that, you know, there's houses around, you know...
So you think that's what she wanted to do, was to...
I guess so, I mean...
Okay. Well, then my next question is this. If she wants out and wants to go, why not just pull over and let her go? Why try to keep her in the vehicle? Because that's trying to keep her in the vehicle and her trying to get out is what causes her to end up getting hurt. She wants out, you're hanging on to her, you go into an oncoming lane, is that what happened?
When I turned down, you know, she opened my door and I was trying to stop and do all this at the same time.
Well, you didn't stop, because if you'd stopped, she wouldn't have fell out the way she did.
Yeah.
The boot scuff marks on her feet are on the bottoms of her boots going sideways. So her feet got out the door, and someone's still hanging on to her, and she's getting drugged a little bit. Is that what happened?
I guess it was, yes, sir.
I need to hear it from you, because I need to make sure I understand it right.
Yes, sir.
So her feet are out on the passenger side, you've got a hold of her, and you're trying to pull her back in? Or trying to get her in so y'all can go, right? Is that right?
I mean, when I turned down, I tried to grab her, because I guess it was a reaction, you know. Seen her open the door, trying to go out, and I tried to reach and grab her to kind of...
When you reached to grab her, do you think maybe at that point you hit the gas more, trying to speed up, by whether accidentally or not?
Okay. I did it. I mean...
So you're going slow, and that would make more sense. She's trying to get out while the vehicle's going slow. You see her getting out, and you correct me if I'm getting this wrong, because I'm trying to piece together what you're telling me. She opens up the door, tries to step out of the vehicle. You reach over to grab her, maybe hit the gas a little bit, maybe trying to, I don't know, maybe purposely to maybe make her say, hey, you can't get out here, and thinking she'll hop back in. Is that it, or did you hit it by accident? You tell me, because I don't want, this isn't my words, these are your words, okay?
And I probably hit my gasoline on accidentally, because when I probably reached over.
But the vehicle sped up, is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it sped up as she's getting out. Did she have her legs out the door at that point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So her legs are out, you speed up a little bit, you say there's a vehicle coming, and you swerved, I guess, into the other lane a little bit, and then you realized, did you have to jerk a little bit to get back in your lane?
A little bit.
When you jerked and you let go of her, is that when she pretty much tumbles out, finishes going out the rest of the way? Okay. When she was getting out of the vehicle, what all did she have in her hands?
She had her purse.
That purse, that zebra skin looking purse?
Her purse on the side, on her thing, and I think that's about it.
Okay.
And I think she had, that's about it.
Well, let me ask you this, because
When she went out, I think she got turned and her arms got caught between my feet. I mean, I really don't know.
How do you mean?
When she went out, I grabbed her left arm.
Uh-huh.
And
You grabbed her left arm?
Yeah, because when I kind of grabbed her left arm, tried to pull her in, and, you know.
So, let me ask you this. If I'm sitting here, and this is the passenger seat, and I'm Nicole, you're sitting here to my left, she goes to get out, does she swing her legs out? And then the door's open.
She tried to open my door, and she really couldn't push my door open because of the the wind. You know, it's kind of
Well,
hard.
you said you're only going 10 miles an hour, and if you're turning right, that door is going to swing out because the centrifugal force is going to pull that right door up, the door on the passenger side open. You're making a left turn, that door's going to, there's going to be some centrifugal force pushing her this way. You grab her by her left arm, is that right? Okay. And then that's when the car speeds up, her legs are out, she's dragging those on the road, and then you realize now you're turning into the wrong lane or something?
I realized that I was going...
And speeding up?
Yes, sir.
And you let go of her arm? At that point to grab the wheel, or what?
When I went to grab her, I didn't come to a complete stop at that stop sign.
Right, you told us that.
Okay. And whenever I was going about, I don't know, about 3, I don't know, I didn't come to a complete stop. And when I turned out there, she kind of had my door kind of open. And I guess when I turned on out there, the force of the weight kind of threw her out.
Well, you were trying to hold her in, though.
Yeah.
But she wanted out. And at some point you're turning slowly, though, and you said you accidentally hit the gas, so that's going to speed you up some, which is going to help create that centrifugal force, which is going to have her going on out. And at some point you had to let go of the arm or you couldn't hang on anymore.
Yes, sir.
So she goes out, she tumbles,
Yes, sir.
right? You went on down the road.
Make a U-turn.
And at first you was going to leave her there. Is that right? Because that's what you told Mr. Parks. Was that you was thinking about just leaving her out there.
It's because when I seen her, I thought about it, it went through my mind, but then I realized, I was like, hey, I have to stay there, I have to, I mean, she was my best friend.
And I believe you. I believe you on that. I believe you cared about her. She falls out of the vehicle. When I went out there to that scene, and you was in the car, in that patrol car with us, I looked at everything, and I took a lot of photographs of everything. There were tire tracks on the right side of the shoulder in the grass.
Yes, sir.
Did you pull over there?
Yes, sir.
Were you driving in the grass when she fell out of the vehicle? And you're 100% sure she didn't fall out on the driver's side, and there wasn't nothing that occurred on the driver's side, it was on the passenger side?
On the passenger side.
Okay. So, when you made that U-turn and came back, you pulled up in the grass and then got out and checked on her?
I got out and checked on her, reached down, and I grabbed the back of her head, and realized that she was bleeding.
Now, did you get back in your truck and then drive off without her?
No, sir.
Okay.
I stayed right there. At the point, I didn't know where I was. I called 911.
Well, hang on a second. See, that's another thing that I'm kind of confused about. Because you knew what road you turned off of was Sugar Maple.
Yeah.
And you knew you were on Honey Island Cutoff. If you had called dispatch and said, hey, I'm at Sugar Maple and Honey Island Cutoff, they'd have known where you were at.
I did call and said that, but I panicked and I was like, and realized that she was bleeding very heavily. I called Tony and I asked Tony where I was. Tony heard her, gasping for air, and he told me that I need to get her up and go to somewhere I knew where I was. And when I did, she weighs 140 pounds, so I was really having struggle with it.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you move her body out there on the side of the road because there was blood on the papers that shouldn't have been on the papers over in one spot, and then there was a bigger pool of blood, which was obviously where she laid more for a longer period of time? Why did you move her in two different places like that?
Because when I was picking her up, I was having trouble with it. And then I got her to my door. When I tried to pick her up, put her in my truck, I couldn't get her in my truck. So that's where I guess that's where the other pool was. And I moved her from 3 feet over from where she was to my second door.
Okay.
And I was trying to get her up there, and I couldn't get her up there. I mean, I ain't going to sit here and I mean, I couldn't.
Do you think it had, some of that probably had something to do with you had been drinking too? Because you admitted that you'd been drinking quite a bit throughout the day and you were probably a little bit intoxicated. And I'm not trying to turn this into a DWI, don't get me wrong. But is that probably one reason why you were having some of the trouble?
No, sir.
Okay.
I mean, she weighed, I only weighed 120.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sitting here trying to pick up dead weight and I only got one leg. I was having trouble.
About how much did you have to drink that day? Because I think you told Ranger Parks one thing, and you told me something different.
It's like I said, I really can't even remember. I mean,
is it safe to say, because you've been arrested for DWI before, you're on probation for DWI, is it safe to say that you probably had too much to drink to be driving? Is that fair? Because I'm trying to be fair about everything.
I guess, I mean...
Well, it's not a guess deal. I mean, you either know. I mean, did you...
I had quite a few drinks.
Okay. And that's a fair statement.
You know?
So, had you been stopped for driving, if none of this had happened, you'd have probably been arrested for DWI. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I even asked Tony if he can take us back to our camp. I mean, I even asked, but I knew I was intoxicated. I mean, I was. You know, I mean, that's why I asked somebody if they can, you know, pick us up and bring us back to our camp.
Right. All right.
I would not do it.
I'm going to walk back through everything that we've just talked about, because that'll help me kind of make sure I've got the facts right, because I want to make sure I've got this right. Okay? Nicole is walking down the road, and you pick her up. It's a long, dirt road, dark, there's no lights out there, and I know that. I've been out there before. So you're out there on this road. She gets in the vehicle voluntarily. You don't pull her in. You don't force her to get in. Okay? She gets into the vehicle. When y'all get up to Sugar Maple and FM 1003, the Honey Island cutoff, she wants out of the vehicle, but you don't want to let her out because you want to take her back to your camp and talk to her. She wants.
I don't even know. I mean, Sugar. I mean, Honey Island cutoff. I don't. I would have felt bad if I would have let her out and something else would have happened. She got ran over.
Yeah, but something bad did happen because you didn't let her out.
Yeah, I didn't let her out, but I was trying to be, you know, I mean...
But Clint, you understand...
I was the last person to be seen with her. If I would have let her out right there at Honey Island Cutoff and something else would have happened to her, she got hit, got raped, I was the last person to be seen with her.
Well, I understand that.
You know, I mean...
But the fact is she wanted out of the vehicle, you didn't let her out, and something bad happened to her also. So that's why when people want... You know, it's important that you not try to hold someone against their will or make them stay when they don't want to stay. Okay? Because sometimes you just can't do that, and if you do, bad things happen, as you unfortunately know.
And like I said, she has done it to me. I don't know how many times she has done this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she has done it to her mom, to her cousin. And, you know, I mean, she has been at my buddy Rush's house and got totally mad at me and go out the door and just start walking. And I would, you know...
Well, let me ask you this so I can finish making sure I've got the information correct. Because I want this to be as right can be. I don't want there to be any misunderstanding about what happened out there, okay? Clint, if when you're turning and she's going out, and that's when she opens the doors right there at the stop sign, is that right? Because they said your light came on.
I was already pulling out.
So you were starting to pull out. You just slowed down because you didn't come to a complete stop. Is one of the reasons why you didn't come to a complete stop because she was saying that she was going to jump out, or was that? I mean, because she was telling you that, right?
Not, you know. She said she was going to jump out, but you know, like I said, I hear her. She gets mad at me all the time, and she says it to me, and she really don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she always acts like she's done it, and like I said, when I was turning out on there, you know, she had my door open, and when I realized that it was too late when I was turning up on her.
Well, I mean, when you're turning, instead of speeding up and trying to hold her in the vehicle, I mean, you could have just gone ahead and pulled over and let her out, maybe talk to her a little bit, maybe explain to her this isn't a good place to stop and that kind of stuff, right?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just trying to see if there was something else that could have happened, because obviously the way this one all worked out, it worked out bad.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure out where we're at on how it happened exactly. So as you're pulling out, the door is open.
The door has not been open until I started turning out.
Okay, so you start turning out, the door opens, but you're going about 10 miles an hour at that point?
And when I see my door open, that's when I reached over
And grabbed her
and grabbed her.
to keep her from getting out. And at that point is when you started speeding up.
Yeah, I kind of pressed on my gas.
And that's understandable, because if you, like you said, you were intoxicated.
And I reached over. I guess my foot was already on the gas. And when I leaned over, I guess it...
A little bit more.
You know.
And that's understandable, because you've been drinking and you're intoxicated, like you said. So that could explain why you stepped on the gas a little bit. And then she goes ahead and falls out at that point when you're jerking back because you see a car. It was coming at you, right?
It wasn't coming...
Well, I mean, it was coming towards you, not trying to run over you.
Yeah, I wasn't in their lane or nothing, but when I seen a car coming, I didn't want to be occupied in case, swerve over there and be another accident.
Fair enough. Okay, so you swerve over, hit the gas a little bit, you end up letting go. Did she slip away, or did you just let go so that you could grab the wheel, or?
Kind of like slipped away, so
Okay.
The force.
Hitting the gas, the force, and you couldn't hang on to her?
I couldn't hang on to her.
Okay. That's fair enough, but I wanted to make sure I had the facts right from you. Okay? So, telephone call. And like I said, I understand that part of it. Is there anything else that you think is very important for me to know, or even little detail that you think is really important for me to know that I haven't asked you about that you think I should know about to help me truly understand everything that happened after that night?
She was talking about that, I didn't care for her and stuff like that, and about this Sean dude.
Who's Sean?
A couple of nights before we went out there, she supposedly got raped by this Sean dude.
Okay.
And she kept on wanting me to go and confront this dude about it. And, I wouldn't go and confront the dude about it. It's none of my business.
Right.
If she does something, Halloween night, I don't know, but, she kept on bringing that up to me. Wanted me to go and talk to him because she wanted me to whip his ass, and I wouldn't go and talk to this dude.
Right.
And
What else beyond that?
One argument we got into that I wouldn't go and talk to this guy, really. I didn't want to get anywhere part of that because, what could I do about it?
Is he bigger than you?
You know?
Is there any reason why she didn't want to report it to the police and let the police deal with it, or?
She was messed up that night, she told me. She passed out. She said she ate Xanax. He fed her a bunch of Xanaxes, and I just got on telling her that that's your bad for getting messed up around the dude. You put yourself in that situation, you just gotta deal with it. And she wasn't telling nobody. I guess what she told me because her was friends. We told all our problems to each other. I get mad at them all day, I'd go over there and sit there and talk. And that's one reason why we got into it that night. She was saying something about you feel like a big man now because she thinks that I can do anything, I guess, I don't know. mean,
Well, let me ask you this, is there anything else that you told us that, the first time, or the first two times actually, because I know you talked to Texas Ranger Parks, is there anything else that you want to make sure that you clear up? Because, I mean, we both know you lied about a few things on some stuff.
yeah, I mean, just like I said, I really don't know about the first two statements.
Well, one of them you said, like, the first time you couldn't remember if she went out the door or the window, and then the second time you were sure she went out the window, and we knew that that didn't happen that way. It was too cold out there that night to have windows open anyhow, okay? And she didn't have a jacket on. So,
I was just scared, wrong choice,
feel like the load's been lifted off of you by telling the truth?
That's just happened. I don't know.
I mentioned that the windows the windows couldn't have been down because it was so cold. Had she taken her jacket off when she got in the vehicle with you, or did she still have her jacket on?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Did you take her jacket off of her out there at any time? Okay. There were some clothes and stuff that were in your vehicle after the accident that y'all bagged up into some bags, and I think a wig, and...
the wig wasn't there.
Now, the girl that we just talked to over there, me and that Ranger, when you were sitting in the car, she said that she helped clean up all that stuff and that there was a wig in that stuff.
Yeah.
And all of that went into a plastic bag, and she said they took it to your mom's house. Is that stuff still there?
No, I gave that to Sissy.
Okay, so Sissy had that
She
stuff?
got all
That's
that.
Nicole's mom?
Yes.
Okay.
When Nicole, my mom, and Alex, they bagged up all of them clothes that was in the bag, and put them in a bag, and I brought them to Nicole's mom.
Okay.
I brought them to Nicole's mom, and I went to my camper like 2 or 3 days later, and got her clothes out of there.
Let me ask you this. If she didn't have her jacket on when the accident occurred, and apparently she didn't, you didn't take the jacket off of her then, so she wasn't wearing her jacket.
That's right.
And if she wasn't wearing her jacket, as cold as it was that night, more than likely them windows were rolled up anyway, right? The windows weren't rolled down ever, were they? Okay. Didn't think so, but that's one of those things that you told us that you know, we knew was not truthful, but we needed to get to that point so we could clarify where the lies were. Okay? And you know the old saying, you tell one lie, you have to tell another lie to cover up the first lie and to protect it. And you know, before you know it, you got too many lies and you can't keep them straight. And you learned that the hard way, didn't you?
Sir, I just want to get this over with.
I know you do. I think it's been weighing on your conscience quite a bit. I know you want to get this off your chest. You've been carrying a lot on your shoulders here for the last few weeks, okay? And we need to get to the bottom of it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why what?
Why she just don't understand,
Well, I mean, the bottom line is if she wants out of the vehicle, you got to let her get out. You can't try to keep her in there because it's probably a combination of you being intoxicated and drinking and driving and her wanting out and you not wanting to let her out. It's a combination of a lot of things. But that helps us clarify what really happened. Okay? And that's kind of what suspected all along. Is there anything else that you think is important for me to know about? Clint, I know you weren't sure if you wanted to come in here and talk to me about it. You kind of weren't sure on the way over here. Has anyone forced you to come in here and talk to me today about this to get this thing straightened out? Nope. I'm not twisting your arm. I hadn't threatened you in any way, have I? Okay. Have I treated you okay? Is that a yes? Okay. Nobody's made you any promises that we're going to let you out of jail or not charge you with any kind of a crime whatsoever for telling the truth. I haven't told you anything like that, have I? Is there anything else that you want to tell me that you haven't told me about this? Because I know you feel bad about what happened, and I know you have some of the blame for that, and you feel like I could tell that you've been carrying that on your conscience for a while. Okay, I know that. I kind of knew it that night. I just wasn't sure of all the facts until I got more information. Okay, and I really do appreciate you coming in here and telling me the truth about what happened. Okay, because I think that does Nicole justice. Okay, and it does a lot for her family, because her family's had a lot of questions, and they knew that some of the stuff didn't add up, just like we did. Okay? Let me ask you one last question, just to put this issue to rest. Did you intend on Nicole getting hurt like this?
No, sure. That's her.
Okay.
Sure. That's correct.
Okay. You didn't mean for her to get hurt.
No, I didn't.
And if I understand everything correctly, this was an accident where you was trying to keep her in the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you talking with me. We're going to walk on over there to the jail where they can get you booked in on probation violation. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to visit with Ranger Parks and Lieutenant Spears, and we'll look at how we need to proceed from here on this now that we got better information from you, okay? Okay? Fair enough? All right. Let's go ahead and walk on over to the jail, and I'm going to go ahead and end this interview. You can bring it, Dr. Pepper, and try to finish it up before we get in there, and then I'm going to let you take it in there.